Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. So in this vlog, I'm going to talk about PhotoPlus Expo. I just got off the plane yesterday and I'm kind of just decompressing, right? It was 4 days of just interview, and meet and greets and all kinds of other stuff. So I was there with Trevor Current, my partner on Digital Photography Cafe that we've been doing for like 6-7 years, doing these interviews and whatnot. So it was really a lot of fun. I love the Javits over there in Manhattan. They do a really good job when it comes to any event. I don't care if you're going to Comic-Con or if you're going to PhotoPlus Expo. They really do a good job in there. And the show itself was really good. I would have to say there's probably about 4,000 maybe more people than the previous year. So that's good. That's great for the show. It's doing well. When we got there, it was like 83 degrees. And literally the next morning, it was in the 40s and raining. Now I'm from Florida, guys. I have like thin blood. I was so cold. It was like brutal, right? But we walked down the road and we got to the show, and we immediately went up to the press room, and it was just amazing to me how many people have actually seen this vlog, right? And I've only been doing it for a few months. I think I have like I think it was like 500 or 600 new subscribers in the last month. I just can't believe it. I thank you guys. If you guys are new, welcome. I try covering a lot of, tips, tricks, how-tos, stuff that has to do with the industry. I've been doing this for 20-some years, and I kind of just talk about it, and I'm not a fanboy. So what I say is kind of really what I think, and there's nothing really leading it to any specific direction. So I hope you guys can appreciate that. The show itself had 185 exhibitors, which was amazing. It was a lot of exhibitors. They had Canon and Nikon and Sony and Panasonic and Fuji, and I think it was Olympus. Hasselblad was even there from Germany. You had Phase One, Leica. I mean, a lot of the camera companies. And they were all showing their wares. So they're all fresh from overseas in Cologne, right? For the massive, massive show of Photokina, right? So all of that hot stuff that was there was now here in New York City for us to put our little grubby fingers on. So it was a lot of fun. The thing that I did find was kind of interesting is the previous year, it was drones. Like there were just drones everywhere, right? Everything was drones. And this year, I would say there's maybe 1 or 2 people that had like drones specific, which was kind of refreshing because that kind of got old, really quick last year. It was just, that's all that it was. It was really pushing that drone thing. This year, Fuji had the GFX 50, which I think was a medium format. Olympus had their new M1 II. Sony, the A99 they were talking about with the A99 II, as well as Panasonic. We met them over there at their booth, and they had a mock-up of that GH5 that's going to be coming out, and they were kind of telling us about what it's going to have, what it's not going to have. It looks really interesting considering how small the sensor is, and I am a full frame sensor guy or medium sensor guy. So also, of course, we got to take a look at Canon stuff. They had their mirrorless M5 there, the 5D Mark IV. I did videos on both of those. You can see them here and there probably, which was kind of nice to be able to hands-on them and take a look at them and give them a little run through. Also Nikon 3400. And then one thing that was interesting too with Nikon is this whole play on VR and that ruggedized type of GoPro type of thing. Now, a couple of shows back, I talked about the Nikon, and it was called the KeyMission. And they had KeyMission 360, KeyMission 170, and a KeyMission 80, I think it was. And what that is basically a GoPro. You have a 360 view, you have a 180 view, and then you have that 80 view, or 170 view and an 80 view. And they're rugged. For example, the 360, that will go like 100 feet under the water. It shoots 4K, all of this stuff. So they're really making a play on GoPro. And I think they're doing a pretty good job of it. In the booth, taking a look at all the people using it, putting on the goggles, looking at this VR. VR and AR, I think, is going to be the next big thing, just like drones were. Within the next couple of years, I think we're going to have this big, massive push to VR and AR, right? But just wait for that. That's just my prediction. I think that's the direction that we're going. One other thing that I think is kind of interesting for you guys is lenses. There was a company there called IRIX, I think is what they call them. And we always want like cheap lenses, right? But we want good lenses. And if you're a Canon guy, you're getting L glass. If you're a Nikon, you're getting the good heavy glass, good lenses that have a great f, like let's say 2.8 or 1.4 or something like that. Something that's really good, heavy, good glass. It's fast glass. This Korean company called IRIX, they came up with 2 lenses, and they're really kind of cool and they're affordable. There are 4, let's call it landscape. I would also say maybe even real estate would be a good one for this. It's 11 millimeter and a 15 millimeter. The 11 millimeter is, I think, shooting an f4, straight f4, and the 15 millimeter is f2.4, if I'm not mistaken. But what's interesting here is the price. They're like $500-600. I mean, that's just craziness. You would pay $2,000 for this similar lens. A couple of things that I found cool about them was internal to the lens itself, they have like a little slide where you can slide in gel. So instead of gelling the front, you actually gel in between the lens and the sensor. I like that. I like that a lot. Also, you can feel that infinity click. So once you get to infinity, it clicks. I like that. It does focus lock. It's fully weather and dust resistant, let's call it. So, being for Canon, Nikon, and Pentax, these folks are going to make a really good, strong play against, Sigma and Tamron. That's my personal opinion as third-party glass. Because the 2 lenses, they have one that's called a Firefly, and the other one's called Blackstone, I think. The Blackstone is fully aluminum. Like the whole thing is aluminum body, just like a pro lens you pay $2-3 for. Whereas the Firefly is literally light as a fly. It's really, really lightweight. And it's about $200 difference. It's not a lot difference. For me, I would just go straight aluminum. That's my personal opinion. But if you need to save that couple $100, well, get the cheaper lens, number one. Or if you need something lightweight, you can go that direction too. So a lot of people are, these are full frame glass, but a lot of people are now adapting them to mirrorless cameras that are really small. So sometimes those lighter weight lenses just make sense when you don't have a lens that's this big in a camera that's this big, right? So anyways, IRIX, take a look at those guys. I think that they're going to be up and comers. You're going to hear that name a lot more. That's one of the things that stood out. There was a lot of other things. Like I said, there was 185 people in there, and we did a lot of interviews. But the bottom line was, it was a really good show. If you guys haven't went to a PhotoPlus Expo, definitely go. In a couple of months, there's going to be WPPI, which is for wedding photographers. That's in Las Vegas. We're going to be covering that also, so you should take a look at that. We're still running a giveaway over at Digital Photography Cafe. If you guys didn't enter yet, go and do so. It's for $3,500. Like Corel came on board, all kinds, Drobo, all kinds of people. $3,500 worth of prizes. One person is going to win it. Go to contest.digitalphotographycafe.com. Check that out. I'm going to close it right there because you know me, I'll rant and rant and rant forever. I want to keep these as short as possible, but that's kind of like a synopsis of the PhotoPlus Expo. It was, like I said, a really good time. Once again, as always, if you enjoyed the content, please give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And also head over to my photography store over at JCristina.com. You'll find a whole bunch of tools that I've invented for photographers just like you. And some of them you might like. And don't forget, subscribe. And that's it. We'll see you on the next vlog. Take care, guys.